Welcome to another edition of Inside Look. Over the next 30 minutes, we will take an inside look at the Women at Work Museum, which is located in downtown Attleboro at the corner of County Street and Riverbank Road. Joining me, first of all, a face that you will recognize right there. That's Anupama Khan, who was the valedictorian class of 2008 at North Attleboro High School. You'll always be the valedictorian. That's one thing you're never going to lose. And Laura Schmeltz, over to your far left, administrative assistant at the Women at Work Museum. Let me begin first of all. This is June. We are recording this in June. There's some events taking place the end of June at the Women at Work Museum. But June is, of course, graduation month at North Attleboro High School. I have to, before we talk about the museum, talk about you. Last June, you were preparing your address as valedictorian, getting ready for graduation. How did the last year go? What did you do last summer?
I do not remember what I did last summer.
Unforgettable.
No, I think I spent a lot of time worrying about going to school and getting ready for going to school and spending as much time as possible with friends before going to school and those sorts of things.
Now, where did you go to school this year?
Princeton.
Princeton University. How was that? Was it hard?
Yes. Princeton actually has a very strict grade deflation policy where they set quotas for the number of people in a class that can get A's and B's and things like that, and they're very aggressive about it. It's one of the first universities to do this, so it's tough, but it's interesting.
Wow, that is tough. And what are you majoring in, or have you declared yet?
Have not declared yet. I was thinking chemistry, but I've taken a couple of courses last semester that are pointing me in the direction of civil engineering.
Very good. Who knows? Maybe years from now we'll see Anupama at a presentation of the Planning Board or Conservation Commission, or maybe even the Board of Selectmen. Laura Schmeltz, before we talk about the Women at Work Museum, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Danbury, Connecticut. I ended up in Rhode Island about 10 years ago. I had gone to Bryant University and have a lot of friends and family in the area, and it seemed like every weekend I was here visiting anyways. It was always like a second home. So I got a job with Collette Vacations in Pawtucket, and the rest is history. And I kind of fell upon this little job last summer. A friend of a friend told me that there was an administrative assistant position part-time at the museum. They were looking for someone, and just kind of fate intervened and it all worked out. So I've been there ever since.
So that's how you ended up at the Women at Work Museum. How about you, Anupama? How'd you end up there?
My dad went into Nancy Young's jewelry store, and she told us about her community service projects and just how she knows everyone in the greater Attleboro area. So during the summer, I was already planning on going to France and was accepted to a program in France, and I had like 8 weeks of nothing to do, so I called Nancy and asked if she knew of anyone that would need a community service project that might need an intern, and she said, yeah, I run a museum. I was like, okay.
So now you're still going to France?
Yep, in 2 weeks.
So from Attleboro to France?
Yep.
So quite a summer.
Yep.
Laura, tell us about the Women at Work Museum. I shamefully have never been in there. I've been to the Attleboro Jewelry Makers Outlet a number of times, but well, it's a museum about women. I'm a man. Well, why would I want to go? Tell us about it.
It's actually very interesting, and I have to say that personally I've never, science and math was more my field, so history I was never really a big part of, but we're starting to work at the museum. I've learned a lot, not only about women, but just the fields of science and engineering in general. There's a lot of interesting facts at the museum. We've started a timeline on our walls of women in history, of all the great things they've accomplished and achieved, and we're trying to continue that. Each year we're adding new people to the wall. We also have a wall of women, what's the word I'm looking for? Just women in the community who have done great things or are going to be doing great things, and hopefully a new will be on that wall someday. But we're just trying to tell children, not necessarily just girls, but also boys, that women have done some amazing things throughout history, and hopefully in the future we'll be doing even more. So.
Fantastic. And I know that because we've televised a couple, there's speaker programs where people will come in and talk
Yep.
about various subjects.
Yep, we actually just had our Clara Barton Tea in May. We do that each year, and we have a local actress, Lynn McKenney-Leidick, who comes in and does readings from the letters of Clara Barton. And it's so interesting because, like she said, unfortunately now with technology, we don't have records of people's lives like we used to. And she came in and read all of the letters, and you felt like you were on the battlefield with Clara Barton. It was pretty amazing. And I said a couple of my friends even came, and they felt like, you know, wow, I never knew all of this about her. You know, you hear the name, but you never really realize what all this person has done or what they went through in their life. So to have people come in like that and reenact it and tell their history is kind of interesting.
Now, growing up as a kid in Attleboro, and I'm sure neither of you remember this, I remember when that location used to be Firestone, and what is the brick wall, the rounded wall, was the store windows where you'd see the tires. And then it was bought when Firestone went out of business. It was bought by the Balfour Company, which
Yep.
was located right next door. It was actually the refinery for gold for the Balfour
right, yeah.
Company. And then as Balfour scaled back and moved to North Attleboro and then to Texas, it became the jewelry maker's outlet. And you had not just Nancy's business, but I remember the first Christmas, every jewelry maker in Attleboro had a display. There was almost like a flea market for gold.
That's what I've heard,
It was unbelievable. And what Nancy's done with it is remarkable.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman.
Oh, absolutely. Now, does she run the museum as well? Is there a
she's
connection
the
there?
president. She's the president of our board of directors, and she